The good people of the Bozeman area have noticed a lot of outsiders moving into their last wild place. To anyone else who might be considering relocation, they'd like to apologize for the terrible views, for the just hideous Shields and Yellowstone River valleys, for the Madison River, where you certainly won't find any trout, for the Bridgers and the Crazies, which have no snow-peaked purple majesties, for Clyde Park and Livingston, which aren't just perfect little towns at all. The beer is bad and the snow is lame and the sky is small and thick with smog. To repeat, there's nothing to see here at all, so just keep flying over.
We are kicking off the coldest day in college game day history. The temperature, I just asked one of the fans, it's currently clocking in around about 4 degrees. The game day set wasn't budging because it literally froze on Friday, but we're freezing for good reason because this is one of the most vicious, I can't even speak, my face is frozen, most vicious rivalries in college football. Welcome to Pound Out of College Game Day presented by Dr. Pepper. Christine Williamson, Harry Lyles, Harry Douglas. And the fans are out here. They're lit. I know some of them have been out here since 4 p.m. or 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you guys feel? It's great to be out here.
A little nippy.
A little bit.
A little bit. A brother's cold.
I love it. I love it. The only problem I have right now is like my nostrils feel like they're frozen.
Our nostrils are freezing because of course sinuses, because you know it's cold outside, and then it's like I said, less than 10 degrees. So then our stuff is freezing in our nose.
You know, my mom was trying to say that we couldn't really pop off clothing-wise because we got to, bundle up and keep warm. I disagree, Mom.
Look,
I think we all look pretty. I think we all look pretty good.
We got the blue.
We got the
blue.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we like to start every single show with something that we call 3 big things. I can't feel my fingers. I'm not gonna lie. They're not heated right now.
Got the baby gloves.
HD, you start us off.
For me, I was able to check 2 things off my bucket list. Number 1, being right here in Montana, amazing. Number 2, I had the opportunity yesterday to go to Yellowstone National Park. Just driving there, the scenic views, seeing the mountains, seeing the snow. I was able to see some elk just sitting in town relaxing. Able to see some bison, as y'all can see right now, crossing the road, and that's my car that I'm in right there, that black Jeep, and I had to politely let them on the street and cross the street. But I'll tell you, if I had 4 or 5 more hours, I would have stayed out there. I had to get back because we had a production meeting, but that place is amazing. I tell everyone, if you haven't been to Montana, you haven't been to Yellowstone National Park, make sure you go.
Amazing. I think I'm going to try to go today, just FYI, because of what you said. What's that, Lyles? What do you got?
I mean, my thing is USC UCLA, but hold on, can we show the
heated gloves?
The heated gloves real quick. That's pretty. Yeah, but yours don't got lights on them. Anyways, USC UCLA matters for the first time in a long time. This rivalry has not had true implications on a regular basis in about 10 years, and these teams are matched up incredibly well statistically when it comes to passing rate success, running rate success. My man Bill Connolly laid them out. You should read his preview article on ESPN.com. These teams are almost identical. I think the difference with these two is who's going to limit the big plays and who is going to protect the football, because these are 2 teams where if you turn over the football, they're going to make you pay for those extra possessions.
That's some good stuff.
I love that. It is a lot's on the line all over, obviously, in the Big 12, or Pac-12, excuse me.
She cold.
I am cold. My face is literally frozen. I feel like I'm drooling on myself. Okay, let's talk about a matchup that doesn't really matter. But it kind of does. It kind of does. Clemson needs to get the win. But the Christine Bowl is happening today.
The
Miami
Christine Bowl.
taking on Clemson. Now, as I said, this matchup in the ACC doesn't really matter. Obviously, Clemson hoping to win this because they want to be ACC champions. But I do want to talk. Let's take it back like 22 years, okay, to the early 2000s.
Just 22.
When Miami absolutely dominated college football. Here's the thing. Obviously, today, this game doesn't mean as much. But when you think about the players that were on this 2000-2001 team, Sean Taylor, Jonathan Vilma, Ed Reed, Jeremy Talkie, Andre Johnson, Willis McGahee, Santana Moss, like those guys, we like to call them the old heads because that they used to always come and hang out with us, the OGs, you know what I'm saying? And then when you think about Clemson football, 2016, 2018, they've absolutely dominated the CFP era. You cannot deny that. Obviously, they're not looking like themselves lately. But when you think about the fact that this matchup has a lot of history, I feel like we can't deny that. I know you guys like to make fun of me a lot, but you can't deny the history that exists.
You look at Miami, you talk about people like Andre Johnson. I played with Andre in Tennessee. You talk about Santana Moss. His jersey is hanging up in my wall in my basement. You talk about legends upon legends, guys, multiple guys that played in the National Football League.
Those Miami teams, those are the teams that made me fall in love with college football.
Yes.
Seriously, like Sean Taylor, that visor man, like coolest looking player growing up, man. Like Andre Johnson, all those guys, Wilson McGahee. I mean, just that 2001 Miami team specifically. How do you have all that talent on one roster, man?
It was crazy.
I mean, come on.
See, exactly. So even though they don't look like that now, it's still fun to think about, right? Okay, so now it's time to honor the fan who was feeling the cheesiest with the cheesiest chain reserved for college football's most passionate fans, the one who show up and show out on Saturdays feeling the cheesiest. So each week we pick a winner who wins a replica of this cheesiest chain that I currently have on, and probably the best part. Actually, I don't know which part is the best part. They also get a year supply of Cheez-Its. So our guy Harry Lyles is going to be hanging out with
really
one person.
Really quick, since that chain is so icy.
No, I know it's making my neck a little bit colder.
I'm here with our cheesiest fan, Nolan. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. Go Cats, baby! Let's go!
What's going to be the score tonight?
The score?
Yeah.
100-0. Let's go!
All right, 100-0. Christine, there you have it right there.
All right, so we have some flag football players right now. And HD, I know that this is kind of near and dear to your heart, right? Because it's they're sponsored by the Atlanta Falcons, and I know that you know all these players and all the things that they're doing at the Falcons with. So welcome. So good. How are you guys feeling? Are you cold?
Pretty cold, yeah.
Pretty cold. All right, so obviously flag football just started in Montana. I'll start with you. How is it having flag football and being able to play this sport?
Flag was great. I had so much fun. I wouldn't have asked for a better season. I love my teammates. So proud of how we improved. It was awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I got to ask Peyton. So, being a woman and as a woman playing up a traditionally male sport, how has the support been? How have people's reactions been?
I would say that the sport's been amazing. For me, the trailblazers of this sport, it's really empowering. I think for all the girls playing, it's just a really cool feeling.
And for you, Maddie, how do you guys feel like you can start getting more people involved?
You know, it was honestly a really inspirational sport for me, and I really enjoyed it. It was the one sport that I actually enjoyed playing. So other girls should definitely get on it.
It's the best one, right?
Yeah, I want to tell y'all to keep pushing, man. Keep supporting other girls, especially younger than y'all, to do the same thing. I have a daughter that's 6 and she loves football because her daddy played. So flag football is going to be something that she actually plays. And I also want to give a shout out to Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, Chris Millman, and Amanda Dinkle, 2 people who handle the community relations things for the Atlanta Falcons. So shout out to everyone for making this possible, and shout out to y'all for balling and making it happen.
Oh my gosh. Hello.
Oh, another mascot.
That made me a little nervous. I didn't know who you were. But thanks so much, guys, for joining us. Good luck this season. Thank you. All right, so it's cold here, as we know, obviously. It's cold here. This is one of the coldest rivalries in college football. Check this out.
Every single day is a cold practice. Our coaches don't let that be a distraction, and we kind of use it as motivation because we're blue collar and we work through hard stuff, and we don't let things that's out of our control our outcomes.
You just got to go out there. You have to have the right mindset and just focus on ball.
When it's cold, but it's sunny and blue skies and no wind, you're warm out there. You're flying around, you're having fun.
The last thing I'm worried about is the weather or the conditions outside. And I know that the Bobcats won't be worried about that at all. We're coming to go to war.
Will you wear sleeves for the game?
No, I'm not going to. Montana tough over here.
Clemson next week, so there's a lot at stake, I think, for...
All right, we're joined now by Marc Mariani. What's good? I mean, obviously, you've been here. Are you know how it is out here?
Small town.
Are you cold?
Oh, not cold. No, we live for days like this out here. Small town Montana boy. Shout out Havre Blue Pony.
I follow her too, so you know.
Keep that on your list, dude.
This is fantastic.
Todd, I know you've been campaigning for a while for Game Day to come out here. What is it like for Game Day to finally come to?
You know, it's amazing. I mean, so many people work so hard to make this happen all over the Big Sky. Cats fans, Grizz fans, I mean, there's so much passion in this rivalry. It's like, I liken it to any other state where there's no pro sports teams, and you know this.
Oh, yeah, baby.
You know, it's like Iowa State, Mississippi State. It's the biggest thing that happens in this state every year, am I right?
Circled on the calendar, man. It's the biggest thing statewide, baby. Let's go, Grizz! Big day! Oh, you know what time it is. You know what time it is.
I'm glad you started talking Marc Mariani because you have played in this matchup multiple times.
That's
you
right.
have not lost to Montana State.
Say it again, Harry D.
You have not lost to Montana State. So I need you, Mr. Marc Mariani, to tell everyone what this rivalry is like, what this game is like.
Hey.
You better be passionate,
Hey.
too.
Started in 1897. It's the biggest thing we got going. Montana's a proud bunch. We usually come together, but on this day, the Great Divide, we are separate. We hate these guys, baby. It's go time. 4-0, and we're gonna go dominate today. FGC, baby, let's go! Let's go! You know what time it is? Up with Montana boys. Let's go!
What is something that you want fans to know about Big Sky football?
You know what I love is we're the best FCS conference in the country, and our teams are not happy unless we win a national title. So our goal this year is to have one of these two teams or one of our other playoff teams win a national title. That's what we work so hard for. Great coaches, great people, great student athletes. People that tune in for the game today are going to be really impressed.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Okay, so I gotta ask you. There's two number 83s on this set. Who's the real one?
Oh man. Hey, I came in the locker room when he was playing with the Titans and I'm like, hey, can I get my number back? I look over, I'm like, oh dude, Harry Douglas, man, there's no chance. Alright, I'll take that 87. He's a savage, dude. I love this man. But hey, there he is. Look at those two dudes. Look at those two dudes, man. Hey, let's go. I know, man. Hey,
I do have to say this though, Mark. I will say, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know, you're the real number 83 because you made a Pro Bowl in that number.
Hey, I appreciate it.
That's pretty good right there.
This man.
Look at the love. Look at the love here.
I love this dude, man. I love this dude.
We're so excited to have all of you here. As you can tell from the people behind you, this will be the greatest game day ever. This will be the greatest game day ever today.
I know. A lot of these people have been out here since 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It's a great day, obviously. Big game here today, but obviously there's also a big game in the Pac-12 between UCLA and USC. Check this out.
Touchdown UCLA. Thank you very much.
They're dynamic, you know, just the way their quarterback can run and the way that the running back can run, it creates a lot of problems for defenses.
You're talking about, you know, probably the best tailback certainly that I think we faced this year, and the ability to run through tackles, run hard, has a patience to him that really frustrates you defensively.
Zach runs as aggressive as anybody out in the country, and all the agile things that you need as a running back he has.
Williams to the end zone and caught. Touchdown USC.
He's a very composed player. You know, he understands the offense very well. He has a lot of trust in the receivers.
When you get your shot or when you have that moment that you're going to step up, and it's expected, and that's what they've done so far.
Obviously, we hate those guys across town. We want to break 60.
Who wouldn't want to put 60 up on us? I mean, we're USC, but they're going to have to stand behind that. He's going to have to stand on the word.
All right, we got a big one out west. Number 7 USC at number 16 UCLA. This is the 92nd meeting between these two teams, and USC is the all-time edge, but they've been split 5-5 the last 10 years. UCLA's playoff hopes have taken a big hit, but USC, good God, I can't talk, still has an outside shot. HD, which quarterback do you think gives their team a better chance? Is it DTR or is it Caleb Williams?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Caleb Williams. It's because his supporting cast. I understand Travis Dye is not going to be there with him at the running back position, but you talk about Jordan Addison, Mario Williams, Taj Washington, all these guys. I like Raleek Brown, a freshman running back. I really like his speed and his explosiveness, but for these two guys, these two quarterbacks, last week they had games, right? Caleb Williams had an overthrow in that game that could have went for a touchdown. He had an underthrow that went for an interception. When I look at Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he had a play right before halftime where he fumbled the football, didn't give his team opportunity to get points, and then the last play of the game for UCLA, their quarterback, the guy they're depending on, had a wide open guy open for a touchdown, and he overthrew him.
And I think Caleb's been a little bit more consistent consistent throughout the year. To me, that's always a big one, especially in a matchup like that.
Speaking of Caleb being consistent, he now is 5th in Heisman odds currently right now. Do you think that he actually can get an invite to New York in December?
Well, I do. And it's just not about today, though. You looked at today's game against a ranked opponent, next week against Notre Dame, who started the year off slow, but lately they have really been surging. And then in the Pac-12 championship game, and it would really be ideal if they end up playing Utah, the team that they lost to, and they can avenge their loss.
Yeah. I was going to ask you this, Lyles. Who do you think needs this game more?
You know, from a USC UCLA standpoint, I think UCLA needs it more. Because I think here in the coming years, USC is probably going to have more juice than UCLA is going to. That's just kind of how it's been historically. Right. So when you have an opportunity like this, you've got to seize it, right? Like we are a top 16 matchup here. UCLA, to me, needs it more in that aspect of it. But obviously, in terms of the season goes, USC needs it more because they still have playoff hopes. So obviously, they need not to just beat UCLA today, but you need to get style points.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's stay in the Pac-12. Number 10, Utah headed to Eugene to take on number 12, Oregon. Now, that's a late 10:30 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. The biggest question in this one is Bo Nix's health. He needed help getting off the field in last week's loss to Washington. No confirmation on his availability from Dan Lanning, but the line on this one has moved Oregon by a field goal to Utah by a field goal. So, HC, if Bo can't go, who do the Ducks turn to on offense?
If Bo Nix can't go,
your boy,
I need the camera on me. If Bo Nix can't go, they're going to have to pray. They're going to have to pray to God that they have an opportunity today. That's their only chance.
Please, Lord.
Can't go. If Bo can't go, they're going to have to pray. They're going to have to pray.
Hell now.
Okay, let's go to the other side of the ball. How can Utah exploit Oregon's defense?
Well, number one, we look at over the years within this matchup, the physicality has really gotten to Oregon, and Oregon hasn't been able to win those games. But I look at the 3 closest games that Oregon has played this year. Talk about Washington State, the University of Georgia, and then their other loss. They're giving up 383 passing yards per game. Michael Penix threw for over 400 yards for Washington. Stetson Bennett threw for 386 and 2 touchdowns. So I think if it comes to the pass game, I think Utah can do it. Cam Rising had a 415 2-touchdown game against USC in their win. So if it results to that, he can do it.
And that's the most frustrating thing about Utah is when they play their best football, they are one of the best teams in the country, both defensively and offensively. Tonight is the night where they need to put that together.
All right, let's talk about the Pac-12 in general, because this matchup obviously has huge implications for who's actually going to play in the Pac-12 championship. How do you think this is going to work out?
I think USC-Utah, right? I think we get that rematch. I think they're both primed, right, in terms of not just like today and their circumstances, especially if Bo Nix doesn't play, but just circumstantially also their last game. I think that they're both set up in the best way to get that rematch, which honestly I think we'd all love to see that.
So one more time. If Bo can't go, they better pray to baby Jesus.
Please, Lord.
They better pray.
Sweet baby Jesus. Okay, well, I mean, it will definitely be interesting to see how it plays out. As we know, if USC wins today, they clinch the Pac-12 championship also, so it'll be a good one to watch. All right, you guys, I know we're cold out here. Fingers are cold, but we have a lot of layers on. We prepared for this yesterday. I got to see something that I've never seen before. It was the annual undie run. Just take a look.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, I'm out here on campus for the Brawl of the Wild Undie Run, and all of these people in their underwear are about to run 1 mile on campus and hopefully not freeze to death. It's like 10 degrees outside, so we'll see what happens. Okay guys, I saw you guys walking over here, and I'm not gonna lie, you looked a little cold. How are you feeling right now?
My legs are already numb, so I'm ready to run. It's gonna be okay.
East Grizzlies go, Cats go! East Grizzlies go, Cats go! Cats by 90, man! Let's go, Cats! Go! I love you, Let's go!
You look a little red, a little bit. You have a little snot coming out of your nose, but everything else good?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been colder in my whole life.
How do you feel?
Not a whole lot. I don't really feel anything right now.
Okay, what about you?
My body is definitely shocked. My nose is currently on fire. Fingers are cold. But, you know, my legs feel warm, ran fast.
How do you feel?
Fully numb, but you know, it's fun. It was worth it.
No regrets. I woke up this morning and saw it was 10 degrees. It's like, well, God gave us 10 of them, so I was going to use them all to the best that I could, and it was enough. It was enough.
Okay, are you guys going to put any clothes on anytime soon?
Yeah.
All right, it's time now to look at who has the Fansville advantage presented by Dr. Pepper. And for this, we look ahead to next week. HD, who do you think has the Fansville advantage next week?
I'm going the Iron Bowl. Auburn going to visit Alabama. But I got to talk to about a little history here, Christine. We're going to take it back to 1982. A guy named Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson ran for 114 yards, scored a touchdown. They won that game. We're going to move it to 2010. Cam Newton. Yes, I'm saying it again. Cam Newton. Down 24-0. They came back to win that game 28-27. We're going to take it to 2013. Your parents, everybody else. And then we're going to go with the kick six by Chris Davis.
Lee Corso is kissing the helmet. We're taking a break.
Oh, okay. That don't mean I got to stop.
He's back. I mean, Corso hasn't been here for a couple of weeks. Obviously, he's been in and out, but he's back here to freeze a little bit. But I'm sure he's nice and warm up there. Okay, you can continue.
Okay, now where was I? 2013. Your mama, my daddy, your auntie, everybody else siblings know about Chris Davis and that kick six that gave them the win. Then we're going to go to 2021. Last year, Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young down 7 points. Well, not that much time left. Christine Williamson, as you're looking at me crazy. He led his team to a touchdown. This is overtime. Before John Mechie III ran a return route. Boom, just like this. Get out of it. Caught that 2-point conversion.
Okay,
Alabama wins.
Ohio State, Michigan. No, but for real, look. Our boy Cologne over here, big Michigan fan. I know he was excited. Hey, bro, they gonna try to ruin your day on Saturday. Look, they back in Columbus. They felt like they should have lost that game last year. They were talking all kinds of smack. Those fans in Columbus, we saw them earlier this year against Notre Dame. They were hyped then. If you thought they were hyped then, you bring Michigan back after you coming off of a loss in a rivalry that you have dominated for the past 2 decades, respectfully. They're going to bring it.
Also, that game has some implications, obviously, for the CFP as well, so we'll see how that goes.
Just a few.
All right, now let's take a look at all the other games that are happening in college football this week. I feel like I'm drooling on myself. Gotta move my face a little bit. All right, number 14, Ole Miss at Arkansas. That game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on SEC Network. HD, what do you think about that one?
KJ Jefferson, Arkansas is getting their quarterback back. That should help them a lot offensively. But when I look at this Arkansas team, they've lost 5 of their last 7 games. They have 2 more games left. They got to win at least one of those games to become bowl eligible. KJ Jefferson, you know, he's from the Oxford area, so he's looking forward to this game.
All right, we also have another game that has some, I would say, CFP implications. I mean, TCU can't win. Number 4, TCU looking to move to 11-0. Just a field goal favorite on the road against Baylor. Lyles, what do you think?
I think Blake Shapen needs to shape up and get his act together, and Baylor's going to have a chance today. Speaking of which, I just wish y'all could see Christine right now, bro. I know we got B-roll, a boat, going and stuff like that, but bro, she's out here jumping.
I took my coat off.
I have juicy cheeks, okay? They're freezing. Okay, let's talk about number 22, Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. This game obviously doesn't look anything like it has in the past. Lyles, what do you think?
Hey, let me tell y'all something, bro. We talk about this rivalry every year, like, hey, this is one of the best rivalries in college football. No, it's not. It's not. They've played this game like 110 times, and Oklahoma's won it 100, okay? They probably going to win today, even though Oklahoma State's the better football team. That's just the way this rivalry's always gone. I'm not going to give you no, like, hey, Spencer Sanders, da-da-da analysis. This is a rivalry game that is not really a rivalry. Oklahoma's probably going to win the football game today.
All right, let's go look at a potential look-ahead game for the number 3 Wolverines hosting Illinois at noon on ABC. HD, what you got?
This is a big matchup for the Michigan Wolverines. You talk about Chase Brown, who's leading the nation in rushing. He got an injury last game, so hopefully he's going to be all right to play. Him and Blake Corum. This is a big matchup for Blake Corum because he can have a Heisman moment today against the Illinois defense.
Okay, another team that needs to take care of business this week, number 2, Ohio State at Maryland. Again, 3:30 p.m. on ABC. HD, what you got?
This is simple. If you're Ohio State, don't look ahead to the big showdown against Michigan next week.
Yeah.
Play your brand of football, and then you move on to that game.
Don't get caught by Baby Tua.
Yep.
I know, they need to win this one. That'd be absolutely ridiculous if they lost, but nobody's expecting that. Okay, and now we're here in the negative temperatures for Montana at Montana State. Okay, 73 Montana taking on their rival, 9-1 Montana State in the Brawl of the Wild. Tickets are hard to come by on this one. Last we checked, they're going for 350 plus. Montana looking to spoil the Bobcats. Perfect 9-0, Big Sky record. HD, what do you have your eye on in this one?
For me, it's the Montana State Bobcats. I think everyone who rushes the football for them came out their mother's womb rushing the football. They're averaging per game. They have over 230 yards in every game they played except one. That was their loss against Oregon State. But even in that game, they had 168 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns against Cal Poly last week. And Cal Poly, don't walk around with your warm-ups that say Cal Poly or anything because you should be ashamed. Montana State rushed for 550 yards and 6 touchdowns. They can never go to the mall and wear their sweat outfits.
Speaking of that, both of these teams can put up points. The Bobcats are 4th in the FCS at 41 points a game. Montana close behind at 36. Lyles, which offense do you think has the most pressure on them today?
To me, it's Montana's because, look, the biggest matchup in this game is that Montana State offense, as HD mentioned, against this Montana defense. They're both top 10 in FCS in total offense and total defense, respectively. To me, I think if you're Montana, you're going to expect your defense to do just enough to where you have to ask of your offense, hey, you got to give us a little bit more than usual in order to come out in a win, especially in a rivalry game like this where weird things happen.
All right, there was a drone. Was that one of ours? A drone just went overhead. I don't know. I don't know what the heck that was.
That is one of ours.
Okay, so we are now being welcomed. This is a treat by Flint Rasmussen. He's an 8-time winner of the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association Clown of the Year, plus a 7-time winner of Corsman in the Can. His Wikipedia page says he's perhaps the most famous rodeo clown in the world. Oh my goodness.
Hey, are you guys warm? Are you good? I don't need a coat.
You just took your coat off.
No, I haven't had a coat on all day.
He just took his coat off.
Boy, I can crack the mirrors out your head.
He just said he don't need a coat. Now that's some clown.
By the way, you guys, McAfee wears a buckle every week.
Yeah.
I got the real gold buckle right there. That's gold. That's Bobcat gold.
What does it say? What does your belt buckle say?
Well, it's just kind of an award for being pretty good at my job.
Okay, so that's my next question. How did you get into this job?
You know, it's funny because in Montana, the rodeo culture isn't as foreign as it is everybody else. Every one of these guys has been involved somehow. So my dad was a rodeo announcer. My brother's a rodeo announcer. But to this, high school, I was an all-state free safety in high school.
You know what? Hold on. I see you dancing over there. Can you break it down? Break it down for me.
You got to get down low.
Get down low. Get down low, baby.
Good knees. Those are some really good knees. Okay, can you explain to people that might not know what makes this Montana State rivalry so good?
Whether you're in Ekalaka or Eureka or Vile City or Missoula, everybody's got a stake in this. Everybody's got a tie to a school, and they fight all year. But if you look out here now, there's both teams represented. Everybody's getting along. But there ain't a whole lot of love. And you got to be a Bobcat, you got to be a Grizzly, one or the other.
Okay.
Guess what I am? I'm a Bobcat.
Can you give us a little, a quick, 10-second hype? If you were to hype up the crowd, the fans, the team, what would you do?
Well, I'd say when it comes down to pick, I'm going the school that lets horses run on the field. The school that has 9 rodeo titles. I'm going with the Bobcats because we are Montana. We are Montana.
Okay, nobody saw that, hopefully.
Nobody saw you fall. Nobody saw you fall.
Okay, all right, this is good, you guys. We're good. Thank you for watching Countdown to College Gameday.
It's a little icy down here, y'all.
By Dr. Pepper. We'll see you.
It's a little icy.
There goes Douglas.
I get
Jeez, man.
I'm Tracy.
You okay?
I'm Tracy. I forgot how icy it was.
Yeah, no kidding. We can go to the tent to take all this off.